Isn't jiu-jitsu like one of the coolest sports out there? But then you get online and you hear all these people talking with such big words, and they're talking about ecological this, and you should never drill, or you should only drill, but the people that drill are really dumb. And then you're like, man, didn't like a bunch of Olympic champions in wrestling like drill every single day, but they're winning? Didn't a lot of like judo Olympic world champions drill every single day and still drill today, and they're still winning? Do people understand like how to win, but they've never won, but somehow the people that have won everything don't understand, but they understand everything? This argument is super wild and super crazy. So in this video, guys, we're going to talk about this idea. Should you only train ecological, or should you only drill? It's the most ridiculous conversation I've ever heard in my life, but you guys have requested it, so we're going to cover it.
Ethan, I found something. Put the phone away while I'm talking to you. I found something really cool on Instagram, okay? It's called Dynamical Illusion, whatever, right? And, okay, so it's like flashcards, but there's nothing on the flashcards. But you kind of get what I'm saying, right? So, like drilling, sparring, the stuff we do here doesn't work. It just doesn't. See, we need to not know what we're doing at all. Trey has it all wrong. You kind of get what I'm saying?
In all honesty, guys, there's actually a lot of truth within the ecological method of what people are talking about, but it can make the water really murky, because nobody in their right mind is only drilling and expecting to have world-class results to be able to perform at the highest level. At the same time, too, when you guys look at this, drilling is a way to acquire a framework of skill, kind of like a skeleton of a technique, so you have an idea of what the basic goals are. The idea of an ecological approach in combination with drilling, which is what we believe is the best way, is to where you start with a general framework of things that you want, some different ideas of how we're going to distribute our weight, and we go through the beginning motion to be able to do the technique. Then through situational rounds, we do a lot of pressure testing. Now, in this scenario here, we obviously have the great and wonderful Doi, or Ed Sheeran, however you guys would like to refer to him as. He is a guy that is getting really good at jiu-jitsu, but he's not quite at the level of Ethan. If we just say, okay, make these grips and you're going to try to get chest to chest, good luck. Guys, Doi is never, ever going to get in a situation that he's going to be able to pass Ethan's guard. He might get tougher in these rounds, but he's not going to get anywhere closer to be able to actually pass Ethan's guard. So the biggest thing we want to do is actually take a combination of these two things. So what we do at Dynasty here is that we actually have them get in this position. So we're going to have Doi go ahead and put Ethan in the knee cut position here. So what we would do is we would drill the beginning idea of, like, let's say, for example, same side collar grip with the left hand. We then are going to control the belt for this concept and idea of belt camping to create pressure. And we would tell Doi here that we want to make him carry as much weight as we can. And he's going to go through the motions of stabilizing his weight in this position, while Ethan scaling his resistance is going to give Doi practice controlling this position. This is in a way a type of ecological approach, but you are still drilling and going through some of the motions on this, because you have to, because the idea here is that, like, yes, you need to be able to be in the position to experience it yourself. And because of Doi's body type is different than mine, Doi's body type is going to be different than Ethan's. He's not going to be able to do it the exact same way that I'm going to go through and do a knee cut in a live match, live spar, or something of that nature. But what he still needs, though, is a beginning framework of how to do the actual technique. Especially when you guys are thinking about brand new white belts, they've never done it before. There's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure of going to jiu-jitsu, and you put them in a position and you say, hey, I want you to try to get here, spar, good luck. It's not going to be the greatest experience for those athletes. There are athletes, though, that could do really well with that. But again, just like jiu-jitsu, what we tell our athletes here is that we don't do things in a specific way because we care if the technique works. We only care who it actually works against. So we do things in a specific way in jiu-jitsu because it gives us a higher probability of success. It's the same with coaching. The biggest thing here, though, is that we want to be able to take both approaches of drilling and the ecological approach, which truthfully every high-level athlete does that. Whether you look at basketball with, like, for example, Kobe Bryant. notorious for drilling and going through the motions to train his body to be able to do the technique well. Because if you take an ecological approach with basketball and you tell a child, hey, I'm not going to teach you how to shoot, try to get the ball, get it in that basket. They're going to do a lot of things that are not going to be as efficient to shooting the ball than if a coach gave them a head start of like bringing their elbow tight to the rib and focusing on trying to get backspin on the ball. Because basically what we're doing is you're asking somebody to scale a mountain without giving them any idea of what the most efficient way is there. If I'm scaling a mountain, I would rather have a coach come up to me and tell me, hey, this path and route, generally speaking, is a better way for you to go. I would consider going this direction here. So let's go through the motions of doing this here. Then I'm gonna have you do it yourself. Keep the same framework, idea, and concept, but make it your own. That is the sweet spot. When you look at two different sports, there's been a really big debate on why you see a lot of judo Olympians and wrestling Olympians drill all the time. Why do some of the highest level athletes in wrestling and judo drill all the time, but some of the high level athletes in jiu-jitsu, they generally don't want to drill that often? I actually have a really good theory on why this is the case. When you guys look at wrestling and you look at judo, these are extremely well-established sports that have literal professional athletes that have been doing this since they were children, that this is what they dedicate themselves to. When you look at jiu-jitsu, it's still a relatively young sport and a amateur sport. It's a bit of like almost like the Wild Wild West when it comes to drilling, when it comes to training. And there's no real clear-cut method of like what the best way of doing it is. But when you look at wrestling and you look at judo, there are some extremely high-level athletes that have developed into coaches that have taken people through the motions, mixing in the ecological method as well to make the technique their own, for that athlete to make it their own and have a lot of good success. This argument in reality of doing only one and not the other and only this one and not the other is quite literally one of the silliest arguments ever. It's almost as silly as saying no gi is better than the gi, which we're not going to talk about that in this video. If you guys want to hear that discussion about why the gi is so much better than no gi, let me know down below and we'll tell you guys why it is. If you guys love jiu-jitsu, but you're trying to take it to the next level and you want a little extra help, check out the link below for my school community, guys. What this is going to let you do, it's going to let you join a group of people that are trying to get better at jiu-jitsu, that love the gi, that love lapel guard. But if you're looking for that extra help to get help from a step coach, which is me, check the link down below, guys, and you guys will get a lot of extra help. We review sparring film, we review competition film, and we focus on helping you get to the next level. And it has my fully unlocked lapel zombie instructional in that actual group. If you guys are interested in lapel content, make sure you guys check out the link below that, because you're going to see my lapelzombie.com. It's going to have my full lapel zombie instructional in there. If you guys just want to take your jiu-jitsu to the next level and you want to see Doi get choked a lot more, because it's a lot of fun, check out these videos right here to take your jiu-jitsu to the next level while a redhead gets choked out.